If you've considered moving to White Rock, BC, or even just visiting White Rock, BC for the weekend, there is so much more to this area than just the beach and the pier. In today's video, I'm going to let you know about all the reasons why you may love to call this place home or at least spend a weekend here, and all the reasons why living in White Rock is so awesome. You're going to want to make sure you hang around to the end as well, because I'm going to let you know how, if you are somebody that's looking to relocate to this area and you're a little bit unfamiliar with the city of White Rock, well, you're going to get everything you need to know and more. If that all sounds good, cue the music. Let's get into it. My name is Darren, a realtor in Surrey BC with McDonald Realty and team leader of the German group. Now, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Surrey BC, White Rock BC, or anything that happens with the crazy world of British Columbia real estate, consider subscribing so you are the first to be updated on not only the areas but also the market. People like you are booking online meetings with me and my team every single day looking to learn more about the areas we serve. And the good news is we're here to help you too. Whether you're looking at moving in the next 9 days, 90 days, or even 9 months from now, use the online link to book a time to speak with me, and we'll help make sure that your move to the areas that we serve is the absolute best that it could ever be. So let's get this out of the way. Living in White Rock is absolutely awesome, but if you're looking to visit here or even call this place home, there's so much more to it than just the beach and just the pier, the things that they're known for. Now, we're definitely going to cover those in today's video, but I want to let you know some of the little known things about what you might do to kill time here, what you might do to kill a weekend, what you might do to have fun with the family. All of the reasons and all of the places that when you visit White Rock, well, you're definitely going to want to check out. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's talk about White Rock Beach as a whole real quick, just so you have an understand of the landscape of what is really here. So White Rock Beach, well, people come from all over to experience it because in total, it's about 8 kilometers of sand and shallows. The part of the beach that everybody really thinks as White Rock Beach, maybe White Rock Beach proper, is kind of divided into 2 pieces. You've got West Beach. West Beach is known for being a lot busier. It's a lot more touristy. There's a lot more foot traffic in this area, which means there's also a lot more shops in this area, a lot more dining type options in this area. It's kind of the more commercey area of White Rock Beach. Of course, it's also home to the famous White Rock Pier, which we'll get into later in this video. Now, you've also got East Beach. East Beach is a little bit of a slower vibe. It's a little bit of a more family-friendly area. The tide tends to go out further in this area, so the families love to go catch some sun and go swim in the water or play in the tide pools on those beautiful summer days in the East Beach area. Famously, you've got the hump in the middle, which separates East Beach and West Beach, and there's really not much in between other than a big hump and some houses separating both beaches from each other. Okay, well, I guess somewhat obvious, we will start with the pier. We will start with the beach. So what is this pier all about, and why should you even come check this out? So this was built in 1914 to accommodate for steamships as a dock to get them to the train station, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in this video. But this originally was only sitting beside the train station, which is now the Museum for the Great Northern Railway. This pier has a really fascinating history as well, because it's had a ton of stuff go on over the years. Back in 2018 is the most recent memory where we had massive windstorms with wind gusts up to 90 kilometers per hour. And actually, in fact, the middle of the pier, you can actually kind of see where it was changed there. But the middle of the pier actually got blown out. There was a sailboat smashing against the waves. And you can find it on the news if you look, but there was actually somebody on the other side of the pier and the Coast Guard had to come rescue them in a helicopter. It was absolutely bananas. The pier's also caught fire a few times over its history since 1914. Obviously, it's made of wood, which makes it a little bit unique. And in the 1940s and 1950s, the pier was home to a restaurant called the Dolphin Restaurant, which would have been really cool if that was still around today. But if you can even imagine, there's so much history on this pier.
that kids and teenagers, well, teenagers, used to drag race their cars down the pier. Isn't that insane? Now, this pier is one of the longest in Canada, and the way that you see it today, it stretches out about 470 meters into Semiahmoo Bay. And almost any times of the year, you will find people just going for a leisurely stroll. You'll find them down at the end crabbing, fishing, and sometimes you'll even find them jumping into the water off the top of the pier. The locals absolutely love this. This is one of the staples of the community. But you've probably heard of the White Rock Pier now, so let's move on to the next one.
Hey, real quick, I don't run any ads on my videos, intentionally anyways, and put in about 8 hours every week trying to bring you the very best content there is while keeping it somewhat entertaining too. The only ask that I have is that you help me spread the word on my videos so we can help more home buyers and sellers be wildly successful with real estate. Get it right the first time and dodge all the ways that people typically get burned when they buy or sell a home. Now, the only way that we can do that is if you give this video just a simple like to help other people like you find the content. That's the only thing we ask you to do. Don't even worry about subscribing. It will take you about 3 seconds and it would mean the absolute world to me, but more importantly, it may change the world for someone else. Thanks for clicking the like button, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let's talk about the Promenade a little bit here now too. This is something great to do when you're visiting White Rock, and it's something that almost everybody does when they visit here, is taking a walk on the nearly 2,200 foot long promenade right along Semiahmoo Bay. This White Rock's promenade runs almost the entire length of White Rock Beach and has access to almost everything in this video today. Not everything, but almost everything. On almost any given day, walking the promenade, not only do you get to enjoy all the beach views, but you're going to find tons of things going on, whether it be art exhibitors, street entertainment, people selling gifts, gelato, mini donuts, and you're gonna wanna make sure that you also check out the Grand Chief Bernard Memorial Plaza, featuring Haida traditional totem poles handcrafted and carved by a Haida and Coast Salish First Nation artist, an homage to the Semiahmoo First Nations, and also offering incredible views of East Beach.
So a really fun reason, which is just behind me, is literally what the town is named for. And yeah, you guessed it, it's a big white rock, but it's definitely worth coming to check out. It's pretty interesting because this is called a glacial erratic, basically a huge boulder that migrated south during the last glaciation. The 486-ton granite boulder was kept white by shellfish-eating seabirds whose guano or poop covered the rock so much that in the 19th century, sailors used it as a beacon. Of course, the city paints it white now. Legend has it that the huge giant rock that the city was named after is actually from the Cowichan tribe. The chief's daughter was in love with the son of the sea god, but they could not wed because a mixture of mortals and gods was frowned upon. In his anger, he raised a giant rock and hurled it down over the gulf, claiming that wherever it landed would be their new home. It fell about 60 miles away, and that was the beginning of a new future. Now, whether you believe that or not, I'll leave that up to you, but this is definitely a local favorite. Any time of the year, you're gonna find, especially kids, or people taking photos with it, but the kids climbing up it and trying to get to the top. Because I remember doing it when I was a kid, and it wasn't that easy. Anyways, that's the White Rock for what the city's named after. Let's move on to the next one.
Next on our list is the White Rock Museum, which celebrates both the community and the rich history of White Rock in general. Originally a train station, the White Rock Museum and Archives is home to more than 7,000 artifacts collected by the community since 1978. These are artifacts relating to early settler history, a small natural history collection, fine art, and a lot more. Here you can chat with historians, read old newspapers of the day, or even take a by donation 60-minute guided tour to learn all about the history of White Rock. What a cool way to kill an afternoon. Dedicated on Heritage Day, February 1985, you can also check out the sundial. This dial rests on an original foundation post from when the railway was moved in 1984. There's also a statue, a bronze sculpture dubbed Passenger, designed by a Nelson-based artist, Dennis Klein. This was installed by the city of White Rock to celebrate the history and the people of the White Rock train station.
I guess when we're talking about White Rock, we better talk about the beach itself. So this is a haven for everybody that lives in the community. And they're down here all summer. So they are down here doing anything you can do at the beach, but especially at White Rock Beach, which used to host epic sand castle building competitions. So the sand's really good from that. You're gonna find people skimboarding. On windy days, you're gonna find people kiteboarding. You're gonna find people playing in the tide pools. You're going to find families having picnics out on the beach. You're going to see people canoeing and paddle boarding. There's just so much to do when you live in a beachside community. So naturally, I didn't want to take you for granted. You know what you can do at a beach, but White Rock Beach is one of the special ones, especially in the Lower Mainland.
Now, one of my family's favorite things to do between the months of April to October is to visit the White Rock Farmers Market, which is not going to disappoint. This was the winner of the best large market in BC in 2015, and while we're years away from 2015, it's still pretty awesome. It's lively and fun, it's dog and kid friendly, and just a wonderful way to spend your morning and early afternoon in the city of White Rock. You're gonna find 90+ vendors to be able to fill your bags with things like seasonal produce, delicious baked goods, and unique specialty foods. And while you're there, you can also enjoy the live music, the food vendors, and all of the kids' activities. You're definitely going to want to visit some of the commerce attractions in White Rock as well, because there's so much more to do than just be on the beach and in the beach area. Maybe that's visiting some of the local art galleries, checking out some live theater at the White Rock Players Club, or getting in some live music at Blue Frog Studios. These are things that the locals in White Rock absolutely love to do during their free time, so when you visit, you can do them too. Rounding out our list with one of my favorite things to do after maybe a long day's work or a long day cutting grass during the summer is to go grab some craft beer from our growing number of choices of craft brew houses in White Rock. We're getting a little bit spoiled, but it's awesome because we now have 3 different brew houses all within a walking distance proximity of each other. First, you've got White Rock Beach Beer Company, which is White Rock's original craft brewery, established by 2 teachers in 2013. Seemingly just about 100 paces, big paces, from White Rock Beach Beer Company is Three Dogs Brewing. Opened in 2017, Three Dogs Brewing is definitely a local favorite. Here you can come catch game nights, eat great food, and even join in the karaoke. You've also got the Beer Shack, which features 26 taps of beers and ciders, all from the Cascadia region. Now there is a special mention here, and it just opened. I haven't had the pleasure of checking it out. So we were lucky enough down on White Rock Beach, we had the Galaxy Craft Brewery, who is starting to make a name for themselves in the city of White Rock. And just up by the other 3 locations I just mentioned, well, Galaxy just opened up their own brew house as well. This now makes for 4 all within walking distance of each other. You could do your own little beer tour, a beer tasting tour just in the city of White Rock, all by foot. Now I haven't been able to be inside yet, but I have peeked in the windows and it does look pretty awesome, and I'm hearing great things about it from the locals. So maybe that's for another video. So now that you know visiting White Rock is a lot more than just visiting the beach. It's a lot more than just walking the pier. There is so much more to do in the city of White Rock. So how does someone like you who's looking at either moving to White Rock or visiting White Rock, how do you keep up on everything that's going on so you and your family can plan the absolute best week, weekend, or even just living here in general? My answer to that is to stay on top of what's happening in the city of White Rock by visiting our Living in White Rock playlist, where we are releasing videos on a regular basis about everything to do with being a resident of White Rock and living here. If you're someone that's watching this video that's visiting from out of town and looking forward to come here, leave us a comment down below and let us know what questions you might have about the area, and either myself or all of the locals that watch this channel will help give you any information you're looking for. And if you're a local watching this video, what's one thing that I maybe missed in this video that you want everybody to know about? Be sure to leave that below as well. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, and we will definitely look forward to seeing you on the next video, because you subscribed, right? Cheers.